All right, if you're watching live here on Facebook, thank you. You can type comments below, questions. We'll try to go through some of the things that you're saying in the chat room. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, so just type some questions in, and we'll see if we can add them. Hi, Bob. Hi, Brian. Hi, Mike. Hi, Ryan. Hi, everybody. I don't really... Well, I'm swiping and seeing some things. Anyway, thank you much. We're on youtube.com/TheNewAmericanMedia and then vid.me/TheNewAmericanMedia. Subscribe to both of those platforms, and we will have a whole bunch more coming for you soon. Zach, let's kind of shift gears over to the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're into the regular season now. We've had a few games to watch from the Cleveland Cavaliers. What have we learned about this team so far, and what do we still need to figure out?
Everything, and we've learned nothing.
Sweet.
Here's the thing that I see right now. The Cavaliers go out and have an unbelievably impressive game against Milwaukee, where you beat the second best team in the East by 19 points on their home court too. So that just tells you how talented the Cavs are when they play together. And then they go and get blown away against the worst team in the East in the Magic. It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah,
that's what happens early in the season on back-to-back nights. It doesn't make sense. Here's the thing: the Cavaliers have an entirely brand new roster when you think about it. Because don't forget, let's not forget, Kevin Love has been thrust into the center role this season. You've got Jay Crowder, who's new at power forward. You've got Dwyane Wade at shooting guard, and you've got Derrick Rose / Isaiah Thomas at the point guard. You have essentially four new starters. I know Kevin Love has been in the lineup, but Kevin Love has never been the five starting in this lineup. He's played the five, he just hasn't started, especially with these guys. I feel like LeBron can play with anyone, but it takes LeBron a while sometimes. We even witnessed it in Miami to get acclimated. Didn't the Heat start off 8-6 or 8-7 LeBron's first 15 games in Miami, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, it was right around 500. You're right.
It takes LeBron a while to get acclimated. I mean, don't forget the Cavaliers were under 500 in LeBron's first 40 games in Cleveland, his first season back here. And people were panicking, going crazy, and it was just the whole time, okay, just wait till they turn it on. They will be in the finals. Stop panicking. Stop worrying. And they made it to the finals without Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving, and they won 2 games without them. That's how good LeBron is when LeBron turns it on. And trust me, they will turn on. Dwyane Wade still has the ability to turn it on. They just need to find the right role to get these guys in. It's not easy, trying to get superstars to play with each other all the time. These guys have egos. They will wind up all coming together at some point. And just wait till they incorporate Isaiah Thomas back into this lineup as well. This team will only be so much better with IT on it.
Yeah, it's easy to keep overlooking the fact that Isaiah Thomas is coming back. So even halfway through the season, we don't know what we're going to look like. This team is such a crapshoot. We know we're going to be good. We got the talent to. But how well refined of an engine will we be?
Going to the finals. Let's see how well they mesh, though. I think Jay Crowder is a huge piece that was, the Cavs had. I think it's a great piece the Cavs had. I think he's arguably the most significant piece of that trade at this point. Isaiah Thomas will be a huge bonus when they get him healthy, if he's healthy. I mean, don't forget, this is a guy who, if you have him running out with the second unit with Dwyane Wade in the finals, who can match score for score and point for point with Golden State is huge for the Cavaliers when LeBron's on the bench. That's what you need. You need the the problem is last year, the Cavaliers didn't get their butts kicked when LeBron was in the lineup against Golden State. They were a plus when LeBron was in the lineup. They were significantly worse when LeBron was off the floor, and that's when they went from having, up by 2 points to being down by 16. You witness it. LeBron can't play 48 minutes a night. He can play 44 to 45, but you got to give him that 3-4 minute break, and that's when the Cavaliers just completely deteriorated. So this year, you add a nice key piece in defender in Jay Crowder. I think the Cavaliers will be significantly better than they were a year ago. I think they're just loaded with depth, and I think they're just more talented than they were a year ago too. The Cavaliers have lacked a player like Jay Crowder since the day they traded him away.
Wait, since the day we traded who away?
Jay Crowder. The Cavaliers drafted Jay Crowder and they traded him for Tyler Zeller.
Oh man, I totally forgot about it. Hit reset and reboot that for me.
The Cavaliers drafted Jay Crowder, I believe, 5 years ago, and they wound up trading him in a deal to move up and get Tyler Zeller.
Okay. I totally forgot about that because we never got to know him. So I didn't even, he was just a player included in some trade. Interesting.
So, yeah. So, I mean, I are doing, I mean, just be patient with them. It's going to take a lot of patience early on in the season. You're going to see some bad nights. You're going to see some nights where they just, where they played 100%. They're going to beat teams like Milwaukee by 19 on the road, teams that they shouldn't be beating by that many points in the road because they are that immensely talented.
So then, let me ask this: since this team is obviously not built for the Bucks or the Celtics or anybody in the East, it's built to go against the Warriors. If the Warriors can even get out of the West, we'll talk about that maybe in a second here. But how important is the regular season record going to be when it comes to home court advantage? Is that even something we should mess around with?
I think it matters more in the finals, but again, if Golden State's going to sit there and they're going to reel off 70 wins, the Cavaliers can't match that.
So don't even try.
LeBron's body. No, you're not. No. And I think you can land home court in the East. Does it even matter? I mean, they went to Boston last year. Boston at home court, and they won it in 5. And while Isaiah Thomas was on the floor, they won the first 2 games.
Right.
So it doesn't even matter anyway. I mean, LeBron will win anywhere. He's proven that he can win on the Warriors' court. They won Game 7 on the Warriors' court because they've won games in Golden State where nobody else has. They can win on the road. It doesn't even matter. Yeah, are the Cavs better at home? Yes. But who can win on the road in a hostile environment? We've witnessed he's won in San Antonio. He's won in Golden State. He's won in Oklahoma City. He's won in tough places on the road.
Right. All right.
I don't think it matters where LeBron plays. I think he thrives off of hostile crowds, and I think he loves it more than anything.
Interesting, yeah, because that's either in your DNA or it's not. Let me go back. You kind of said, maybe the most significant part of that trade with the Celtics was Jay Crowder, and of course, yes, that's obvious because we haven't used our draft pick yet, and we haven't seen Isaiah Thomas
play. Go over this too. The Cavaliers also have had significant pieces acquired in deals that they have assets in Cedi Osman, Ante Zizic, who I haven't seen enough of either player to know enough about them, being honest. I just haven't watched film on either one of them. Right. And Zizic, during the summer league didn't impress me. Okay. But in Europe, he was fantastic. I haven't seen his European film. I've seen very little of it through Synergy. Seen a very little bit of his film. From what I did see over in Europe, I was impressed. From what I saw in the summer league, I was not.
Okay.
But again, just because a player doesn't perform well in the summer league doesn't mean anything. We've seen players that have been great in the summer league that haven't been good. The Cavaliers, those are 2 assets that the Cavaliers could move if they needed to. I'm not saying they're worth a ton, but they're worth something. They have their own first-round pick is worth something, and they have Brooklyn, which is worth something.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get into was the Brooklyn pick with Jeremy Lin getting injured. What we're looking at with the Nets.
I mean, Brooklyn right now is 2-1, but I mean, look who they've beaten. They've beaten Orlando or the Bulls, and they've beaten the Hawks. So it's not like they've beaten anyone yet. It's not like they went and trounced Oklahoma City, or even a decent team. They haven't beaten anyone, or they beat the Knicks or something. I mean, it was one of the 4 worst teams in the NBA. I know who they beat. I know they beat the Hawks too. I'm not worried about the Golden State. About the Brooklyn Nets winning 30 games this year. I don't see them winning more than 24 to 25.
Okay. Yeah, because
especially without Jeremy Lin in that lineup. They just lack depth. I mean, that's the thing. I like D'Angelo Russell. I think he's a nice piece there. I think they did a great job by adding him. And I think they got Alan Crabb, too. They've got some young, nice pieces there. But they're still a long ways away from winning, and I don't think it's going to translate to the season.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I want to just kind of keep checking in. We don't need to spend a ton of time on it, but I definitely want to keep checking back with where we think the value of that Brooklyn Nets pick is going to be. Would you say it's pretty much the same value as it was when we got it?
Yeah. Oh, it hasn't decreased at all.
Okay, got it. Yeah, it's one of those things to remember as we move forward as a franchise and playing front office / general manager. But moving around to the rest of the league, unless you had any other thoughts on the Cavs, I wanted to talk about Bledsoe over there in Phoenix.
That's the whole mess of this issue. You want to talk about the Browns of the NBA? That's the Suns right now.
The Suns are the Browns of the NBA. I love it. All right, we'll talk about Bledsoe and what's going on and what you expect to happen. The general manager is saying that it's likely that he's played his final game for the Suns.
He has played his final game, and that's the problem is it diminishes his trade value now. The Suns want to get rid of him. They have to get rid of him. You can't just sit there and not have a key piece not playing. You know, the guy who averaged, I believe it was 21, 6, and 6 last year. He's a very, very good point guard.
Yeah.
Do I think Cleveland gets involved in this? Probably not, but I could be wrong. You know, would Phoenix be willing to deal, you know, for Cleveland's first-round pick, maybe Ante Zizic or Seti Osman and Channing Frye and Amon Shumpert for Eric Bledsoe? Maybe. But don't forget, once the Cavaliers trade their own first-round pick, they cannot trade the Brooklyn pick. So that's why I don't see this trade happening. I don't see the Cavaliers going with Bledsoe right now. I see it as a possibility. However, I just don't think so.
Explain how that works if they hold on. Explain how that works if they make the trade.
You cannot trade your first-round pick in consecutive years. But however, if you have another team's first-round pick, then you can go and move yours. You cannot trade first-round picks in consecutive years. And if you're going to do that, you have to trade it after you select the player.
Okay. So you don't expect the Cavs to get involved for that reason, mainly?
I do think they could get involved. I just tend to think they hold on to that Brooklyn pick for a longer period of time, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, and maybe it isn't the right player at the right piece at the right time, and who knows? The one thing I have learned about the Cavs is they will play ball. They will shift that roster around. They will shuffle the deck more than most franchises. I mean, like you said, almost all of the Cavs starting lineup is totally new. What do you make of Dwyane Wade? Getting back to the Cavs, what do you make of him coming off the bench now? You think that's a good move so he can lead the bench squad?
I think the Cavaliers need to find the right spot for Wade. They will at some point. They're going to find the right spot for Wade. It's just a matter of getting him in that right position and getting him to come off the bench. I mean, the guy's come off the bench less than 15 games in his career in the NBA in 15 seasons.
Right.
Think about that one for a second. It's not easy to come off the bench like that if you're Dwyane Wade. But they'll find the right position for him. I'm not worried about it. You know, trust me, I don't think he's completely washed up. Judging by what I saw in the preseason, he still has it left.
Yeah, and I think Derrick Rose is fine. He rolled his ankle, so what? That's just a basketball play. If something broke or tore, then yeah, you got a problem. But I mean, that was just a regular rolled ankle that anybody could have happened to anyone, and you expect him back in a few games. So that's not worrying me too much.
No, that Derrick Rose injury shouldn't worry you. It
doesn't worry me at all. It doesn't worry me at all. What I do want to talk about, something that has pleased me greatly over the first few games, Curry is throwing his mouthpiece again, acting like a child. Kevin Durant is flicking people off. And what is going on with the Warriors right now?
Kyrie Irving's telling people to suck his dick. So.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. What is happening?
So, you know what? I think tempers are flaring a little bit early on. You know, it happens when these super teams lose a game. And it just happens.
It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun when it's not your own team. When it's not your own team getting in there for the wrong reasons. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's very childish for him to do that. I loathe everything about the Warriors, and even if it's just a week, I'm enjoying this week watching them fall apart. It's their composure. They've always been a fragile team when it comes to composure. The one thing LeBron's teams have is smarts.
Yeah, guys like Steph Curry, when he doesn't get his way, loses his composure. It's been the same thing with
Draymond.
For the most part, it's really been Durant. Yeah, Draymond especially. But Durant really over the last 2 years, I think Durant's just really upset with the criticism he gets for going to Golden State, and it's like, he went and he literally, if LeBron, I personally gave LeBron a ton of crap, and I'm not going to sit here and deny it. For going to Miami in 2010 and teaming up with Dwyane Wade and Chris Bosh.
Yeah, so did I.
But don't forget, it's not like LeBron joined a great team down there. He joined a team that literally only had Dwyane Wade on. And Udonis Haslem. That was it. It had 2 players on the entire roster.
Yeah, they had to build it from scratch versus jumping on a 73-win team.
When you think about it, looking back at what LeBron did, you can't sit there and be like, anymore, especially looking at it. I mean, after what Boston had done with the Big Three, they just had done it a little more, Boston was a little more unconventional about it when they did it with the trade, with Garnett and with getting Ray Allen.
Yeah.
So you take a look at it, and it's like, okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to form a Big Three, and now you see doing it all around the league. LeBron's not the one who ruined the game of basketball. Don't blame LeBron. LeBron did exactly what Danny Ainge did in Boston. They needed 3 stars to win it. That's what he felt like he needed to win it, and then they did. And they won 2 out of the next 4 titles, and they probably should have won 3 because they were a much better team than the Dallas team.
Yeah. Let me ask about one.
Well, hold on, real quickly. And Kevin Durant went and just joined a 73-19 that lost in the final minute to the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Durant went and joined a team that was so down on its luck that was coming off a 46-win season or even a 50-win season, going, okay, we need to get over the hump to beat these guys. He's come up with a team that just had 2 straight trips to the NBA Finals. I mean, give me a break.
Exactly. I wanted to shift back to Kevin Love for a second because we're talking about Kevin's, and it got me thinking, man. I watched him play the other day against the Bucks, and man, I'm pretty impressed with how Kevin Love's playing early on. What do you make of his transition?
It's kind of nice to see him without Kyrie. It is.
He's got more room to cut to the basket, to get more touches, to get better pass. I mean, I think him getting more touches is a very good thing for the team. And cutting to the hole.
Yeah, of course. I mean, don't forget, this is the guy who averaged, 25 points a game a few years ago with Minnesota.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even in his prime yet. He's in the heart of his prime right now, and he sacrificed a lot to be in Cleveland. He really has.
Yeah.
He sacrificed all of his numbers to be a winner.
Yes, he did. He's a guy doing it the right way, and
you got to give him props. And here's the thing: you got to give a guy like Chris Bosh props too, and even a guy like Dwyane Wade, who set his ego aside so he could win.
Exactly.
LeBron took a lot of, I think LeBron took a lot of unnecessary and unfair criticism back in 2010, 2011 because of the way he left Cleveland.
He took unfair heat.
The problem was the decision was just a really bad event for LeBron.
Yeah, it wasn't a good look.
It made him a target at the time. It made him a target.
Yeah, it wasn't a good look.
The way he left Cleveland and made him a target leaving his hometown the way he did. And that's why he had that target on his back and everybody was sitting there, he was being ridiculed when, let's not forget, his last bad game that he had in the NBA Finals really was Game 6 of the Dallas series.
Wow. That's kind of astonishing.
That's how good he's been in the playoffs. That's how good he has been in the finals. When he turns it on, he's unbelievable. He's the greatest player of all time, especially in this day and age. With these superstar teams, and it's just the way the game is played these days. And especially, the 3-pointer didn't matter, nearly as much early in the career. When the age of Jordan, a player like LeBron would have been more valuable in the 90s because the 3-pointer, was not a big part of the game. It's a lot harder to win now, especially against a team like the Golden State Warriors who are filled with a bunch of sharpshooters. By
the way, Kyle Korver looked really good the other night too.
Yeah, it's good. That's exactly what you want to see. You want to see this team get going. You want to see them win games. Anything that can translate. But they're going to go through rough stretches where they lose 3-4 in a row.
Yeah.
It just happens. It's how the Cavaliers play. And you know what? To each of his own. They come in the postseason every year. Last year I'm sitting here going, you know what? This is the first year I don't know if this team gets out of the East for playing so poorly. Well, I was damn wrong. I still knew they'd make the finals. But I said with the way they were playing was the first time at any point it even worried me.
Yeah.
And there again, I'm not going to sit here and get the panic button this year. If the Cavaliers are walking in the playoffs with 38 wins and they're the 7th seed, then fine. And they don't gel all season, fine. I'll think something different. But until we get to that point, I'm not going to sit here and worry about it.
Okay, well let's shift gears real quick. I want to bounce over to maybe Ohio State and maybe some of the Indians with Mickey Calloway. Where do you want to start? Football or baseball?
Start with football, and then we'll go. The Indians I'm still so sad.
I know. But they're losing Mickey Calloway. That's the significant part. I just wanted to touch on it. Looks like he's getting hired by the Mets.
We'll start on the Indians. Congrats to Mickey Calloway. He's done a hell of a job with his pitching staff. This is arguably the greatest pitching staff of all time this season.
Yeah. I know. And still couldn't get it done when it counted. Go figure. But I think he's a big loss to the organization.
I'm sad to see Callaway leave, but with the immense amount of talent he has in New York, with guys like Noah Syndergaard, I'm excited to see what he's going to do there. And frankly, I think it just means the return of John Farrell to the Indians.
And if that happens, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I'm okay with that.
You're getting a manager who's won the World Series to be your pitching coach. Think about that. You're getting a manager who won the 2013 World Series to be your pitching coach, and who actually lives in Westlake in the off season. Who makes his home in Cleveland during the off season.
All right, I like the move. You sold me, Zach. I'm in. And yes, I'm sad too, and I'm going to be rooting, I think, for the Dodgers. It's where I live. I've been here for 12, 13
I'm
years.
going to be rooting for I have no allegiance to the Astros. I don't care about the Astros. Like I said, my favorite team will always be the Indians. It's not even close. When I lived in LA, though, I went to a ton of Dodgers games. Yep. I like the Dodgers. I always root for them. They don't have the cocky fans like the Lakers do. Like Carlos. I have to say, I actually, I love it. I like the Dodgers a lot. Will I go celebrating in the streets if they win the World Series? Absolutely not. But I'll be happy for LA and I'll be happy for the Dodgers.
Hey, actually, really quick. I mean, it's up to you. It's no big deal. But we do have Carlos. He's always on the line. He just kind of says, "Let me know if you want me to jump in, and I'll give you a quick take." He's also a Dodger fan.
I think Carlos. I talked to him this week. I think he was getting ready for his daughter's quinceañera this weekend. So
yeah, he's a pretty big Dodger fan too. So he has a prediction. I don't know if you wanted to hear it or not, but wouldn't be surprised.
He's Justin Turner.
Yep. Yes, Puig. Going to bring it home. They're going to sweep in 3. They'll sweep in 3. Well, anyway, move over to the Ohio State Buckeyes. Big game against Penn State, number 2 versus number 6. Penn State being number 2, obviously. Going into the big house. I feel like we let one slip away last time we met. What do you anticipate happening here? This is a game with a lot of national championship repercussions.
Again, Penn State I think is a lot better than anybody thought. I think they're really good, and I think they're great on the defensive side. They have the best player in the country, hands down, Dwyane Wade.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Now, Ohio State, JT Barrett, here's the thing. If Barrett has really learned to throw the long ball, and he looks like he did against the crappy opponents that we've had the last 4 weeks, then Ohio State, if Barrett's really evolved, then Ohio State will win this football game. If JT Barrett looks like he did against Oklahoma, Ohio State's going to get destroyed like Michigan last weekend. It's that simple. JT Barrett's had one big win in his career, one real big win that was against Oklahoma last year in Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's incredible to think about signature wins from a guy that's played so many games on so many good teams. It's interesting. But hey, he's back. He's got one more shot to do it. We'll see how it goes. I'm interested. We got our fans over at Lions of Liberty, one of the other Los Angeles-based podcasts / Facebook groups that we work with. But anyway, they're from Penn State. A lot of rooting allegiances over there, so we're trying to get some sort of bet or wager going. I don't know if it's going to be dressing up for something as Halloween or a transfer of Bitcoin, but we're trying to come up with something.
If Ohio State wins, then Jerry Sandusky will have to wear an Ohio State jail outfit.
Yeah, well, see, and here's the interesting part. The Lions of Liberty crew, they kind of side with John Ziegler, who I've interviewed. They don't think Sandusky did anything. They think it was all a setup.
Well, I would recommend you stop interviewing those cocks then, because and don't forget Jerry. They usually say, these people, the child molesters, were often molested themselves. Well, isn't Jerry Sandusky, isn't one of his sons right now? Didn't he get caught raping a young boy recently as well? If I'm not mistaken, he was also in jail. Jerry Sandusky is a horrible human being, deserves to be rotting in prison. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory against Jerry Sandusky.
Look, I didn't really know that it was a theory until John Ziegler used to do radio out here at KFI AM 640 in Los Angeles, and he's a never Trumper, like an anti-Trumper, doesn't like him at all. But he's on the conservative side of things or libertarian side of things. But anyway, until these guys told me that they had interviewed him, and he's done all this research and did all these interviews, went to the prison, met him and all this stuff, he's convinced that it was a witch hunt. Nothing happened. It was an overthrow attempt, and it was what was it? It was really an extortion attempt. So I don't know. It's an interesting show. It's in our archives if anyone wants to check it out.
There's a former coach who was in line to be succeeding Joe Paterno. And then he reports the rape that he witnessed with Jerry Sandusky, and then all of a sudden now can't even get a job at a local CVS.
Well, look at what we're talking about this week. Donald Trump is talking about releasing all of the information finally about the JFK assassination. So it's a big week for conspiracy theories anyway.
What your thoughts are on that? I'm thoughts on that? What do you think is going to come out of it? When is it being released? The 26th?
Well, you talked about you were saying if there was somebody young up and coming in the Penn State organization that wanted Joe Paterno's job, this, that, and the other. Well, there's a lot of.
At the end of his career by reporting that, though. He reported to Joe Paterno.
Yeah.
Paterno didn't say anything. I mean, it was. I don't think it was a giant witch hunt. I think Paterno knew. I think like judging by football coaches overlook a lot of stuff which goes on in the organization. They do what's best for them. Trust me. I've worked for a college football program, for a D1 Pac-12 program. Mm-hmm. I know what goes on in these programs. Trust me, that coaches overlook. Look at Rick Pitino. These coaches do what's best for their own agenda and overlook the things that go on in there. Trust me on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally understand that. But what I was saying about JFK is that there's a lot of implication with Lyndon Johnson and the CIA. It's kind of shifted a little bit more away from the Cubans or Oswald acting alone to Lyndon Johnson sitting behind Kennedy and really actually playing some role in having his superior offed so that he could get the job.
I'm very interested to see it. I'm very excited to see it. But there's conspiracy theorists all around the place. It's like, it's like, Brian, on your page right now, you have people, that I see, there was a fourth floor shooter. Okay, but there's no broken window. The windows don't open. And, there's just a light going and it was going off before. It's, people can always turn everything into a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll never forget, I was out with a girl about a year ago during the playoffs, and she says to me, the Denver movie theater shooting was fake. And I said, in what terms is it fake? And she goes, the victims, nobody actually died. They were crisis actors. And I said, what if I told you one of my close friends from college that I went on spring break was killed in there? It was on the cover of People magazine, throwing himself over his girlfriend. Trust me, I knew the family too. Like, I highly doubt he was a crisis actor. And she was going in on it, on how he was an actor. And I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah, well, that's why the name of our show, The Fake News Group. By the way, it's a Facebook group. It's called, TNAM Fake News, Debunking Conspiracy Theories. And that's what we're trying to do. We just want to talk about the stuff that happens, whether it's the Vegas thing, the JFK thing, the Jerry Sandusky thing, and at least let's hear out the flat earthers in their argument. Let's hear out the Jerry Sandusky supporters. Let's hear out the people that think Oswald acted alone, or the people that think that the CIA was behind it, or the mafia, whatever the case is. I just like interesting conversations, and I want to pick it apart and think it through,
Me too. It makes for a very interesting conversation. However, in this one, this girl's a conspiracy theorist, and she's trying to tell me that 100% that no one actually died in the Denver movie theater shooting. And I said, I was like, okay, well, these people are, the people that were in there are some pretty damn good actors then. And I was like, I lost a friend that obviously I haven't seen now since 2012, since he passed away and was shot, protecting his girlfriend in the theater. And I was like, I'm pretty sure it was real. And if it wasn't, they did a hell of a job at faking it.
Yeah, and
and here's another thing too with the gun control movement. Anyway, no matter what happens in this country, I think we've witnessed it over and over and over and over again. Starting with Columbine in the mid '90s, was that '97 or '98?
Yeah.
Maybe even '99, whatever year that happened.
I think '98, '99. I remember I was in sophomore year at Bowling Green.
We've witnessed it over and over again, and not one thing has even brought us closer to gun control. Nothing. Because, with Congressman Giffords in Tucson, nothing has brought us closer to gun control. So why would people be staging these elaborate hoaxes in order to enact gun control laws? It's like at the point where it's like, okay, at some point, I'm not saying there's not some conspiracy theory going on. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But, however, it's always good to see why people think the way they do.
Yeah.
Whether, some people are just naturally stupid. It's like if you watch South Park, the 9/11 conspiracy, the greatest thing, 1 out of every 4 people are retarded. According to Cartman. Cartman was the 1 out of 4, And it's like Kyle and even George W. Bush in that episode. It's like, yeah, 1/4 of the population is retarded. People will always have different reasons for it, but there are smart people who believe in conspiracy theories too. There are. And, they try, but a lot of them, they're trying to put pieces there that aren't there. It's, like 9 + 1 is 10, +1, 9 2 minus the 2, make a 1, 9/11. It's like people are always trying to turn something into a conspiracy.
Yeah, there's a really good movie on that called Memento. No, I'm sorry, Pi. It's Pi. And if you're looking to find numbers in digital code and some sort of numerical message, you're always going to find it, whether it's a street sign or a phone number. If you're hardwired to be looking for something, you'll find it anywhere. You will eventually put it into places where it's not statistically significant or important. So
exactly the point. Like my grandpa's lucky number was always 18. Every house we built, he threw 18 cents in the foundation, and it just so happened their address was 2673. Well, that adds up to 18. Just completely random.
Or was it?
He died on April 18th.
Oh.
It's just like just the number 18. There was so much significance when my grandpa died with the number 18. And it was just like, but a conspiracy there's, put it there, oh, this was 18, that's 18.
Yeah, it must be Illuminati.
You put all the numbers together, and it's just, when people start putting things together that aren't there, and it's the same thing, it all relates back, to sports. Is there some collusion against Colin Kaepernick? I don't believe there's an actual collusion. If an owner wanted to sign him, if, Shahid Khan in Jacksonville, who's completely against Donald Trump, wanted to sign Colin Kaepernick, he would do it. He just isn't worth having on a football team because he's not worth the damn headache, and he's not any good. It's like Tim Tebow. All Tim Tebow did was win. Was he any good? No. Tim Tebow had 3 games that he won in a row, which he completed under 10 passes total. He wasn't any good. Their defense was good, and we got them the wins. He wasn't any good. It's just that point. Like, these talent evaluators, I'm surprised a team like an organization like the Browns so bad hasn't picked up a guy like that.
Haven't picked. Oh, what? You mean a guy like Kaepernick or Tebow?
Yeah, the Browns don't know how to evaluate talent. We just got a high quarterback rating. Let's sign him. That's what I'm saying, Brian. It's just like
I know we need to be like George. Good.
It all relates back to sports. When it's all said and done. And I'm saying just the show that everything we do here. When I come on here, I talk about sports. Has the league ever colluded against a player before? Yes, plenty of times. But it's usually for good reason because they're not worth the headache that it brings.
Ray Rice.
Have you ever seen a super? What?
Ray Rice.
Ray Rice brought a lot of negative attention. Had that video not surfaced of Ray Rice, he'd still be in the league.
Yeah.
The fact that it was caught on film is the reason Ray Rice was out of the league and was kicked out of the league. Let's not forget, Jim Brown threw a woman up on the second-story balcony and was still in the league, and is still plays the greatest football player of all time, and people honor him all the time. Has there been witnesses to it that actually came forward, and had there been video of it at the time, Jim Brown, nobody would talk about him nowadays.
Right. Yeah, it's a different world in 2017, 18 here, and it's fun to be a part of it with the New American Media because we try to do sports and conspiracy theories and politics and humor and music and kind of split it up and kind of make the digital experience a little bit more fun and segmented for exactly what people are looking for. So, we like covering all of the stuff and dancing around and, kind of coloring outside of the lines from time to time. So, Zach, that's pretty much all I got for today. That was a heck of a lot of show to pack in there. Do you have any other final thoughts that we didn't get a chance to cover yet?
No, that's all.
Okay. Man, it's a lot of stuff going on. I'll say go Dodgers. Keep an eye on the Browns. See if we can avoid that winless parade. Cavs still trying to figure pieces out. Buckeyes playing Penn State in the biggest game of the year this weekend. And the Indians have to swap out Mickey Calloway. So, in general, it's been a pretty fun sports week, and I'm sure we're going to have plenty to talk about next week, man. So, Zach, as usual, thank you for joining us on the program, man. I appreciate your time, and we'll do this again soon, okay?
Thanks again, Brian.
All right, take care. And by the way, everybody, he's on Twitter at ZBaris. That's ZBARIS. So for everybody here at the TNAM Network, I appreciate you. I love you. We'll talk again soon. Peace.